Following chartered aircraft's landing on the island last week, a barrage of questions is now being directed at immigration officials and, by extension, the government.
Now, despite the presence of unregistered passengers and the absence of proper flight documents, authorities cleared the travelers to exit the airport, allowing them to spend the weekend on the island, Jamaica. Since then, authorities have provided clarification regarding the timeline of events. Here's more.
Despite two of the passengers being absent from the official flight manifest and anomalies regarding flight documents, 253 passengers, including staff, were allowed to land and roam about Jamaica. The Ministry of National Security says this was allowed on humanitarian grounds in keeping with the Immigration Restriction, Commonwealth Citizens Act and Aliens Act. That, despite the Passport Immigration and Citizenship Agency PICA initially denying the passengers entry for risk of security breach. According to the ministry, however, the decision to hold the foreigners was overturned and deemed impractical, considering most of them had reservations at the Rock Hotel in downtown Kingston. That, and considering civil aviation regulations regarding minimum flight rest period. The government assures their release was supervised and all travelers are accounted for. As at Monday afternoon, efforts were ongoing to finalize their departure as they wait at the airport. This rather atypical scenario has, however, raised eyebrows, with many, including the People's National Party, questioning the motive behind the clearance.
They have to find out institutionally where these breakdowns occur. All the protocols that were breached, how were they breached, what caused them to be breached, who are the individuals that allowed this to happen, what is the rationale for that, and I believe that something like this cannot end without some kind of sanctions.
Dr. Angela Brown-Burke posits this scenario is especially frightening given such leniency isn't usually granted to returning Jamaicans. She asserts there's still a lot to clarify and charges the government to oblige.
This is a chartered flight. Who chartered it? What instructions were given to the flight crew? Why did they come to Jamaica in particular? What were they expecting? I saw something that said that they were not expecting to remain in the country. So that too raises some questions around that, to find out what they had expected. Were they supposed to just leave them and they would find their way home? And it's frightening because regular Jamaicans returning to Jamaica do not get such an easy pass.
Natalia Clark, CVM News.